Good morning, students. This is Rajendra to teach biology for NEET. Today topic, there is an importance of macroelements and importance of microelements. About each one, we are going to study in this hour. That already you know that elements are two types are there: essential elements and non-essential elements. That essential elements are 17 are there. In the part of essential elements, there are two more types are there. One is macroelements, the second one is microelements. First we can try to understand macroelements. Macroelements in the sense, generally elements are present in the plant tissues, but macroelements are present in the plant tissues as a large amount. What does a large amount mean? The amount that is more than 10 millimoles per 1 kg of dry weight is called as an macroelements. Macroelements means the element which is present in a plant tissues that is more than 10 millimoles per 1 kg of dry weight. And the important concept is, then now we are trying to understand the types of macroelements as well as their name, as well as their symbols, and followed by available form and their nomenclature. We are trying to understand as a tabular format. There is a macroelements are 9 macroelements are there, plus remaining or microelements are there. 8 microelements, 9 macroelements. Now first we can try to understand 9 macroelements. The first one is hydrogen. The hydrogen symbol as an H, but the available form, hydrogen is available for a plant body in the form of water. Hydrogen is not available in the form of gas. Means whatever the amount of hydrogen is required for a plant body, the total amount of hydrogen is taken by only water form. That is an H2O, is nothing but the nomenclature is an water. The second macro element is carbon. Now dear students, you can try to understand these macroelements, then available form and their nomenclature is important concept here. The second one is an carbon. Carbon, you know, as a symbol of C, we can represent as a symbol of C, but carbon is available in the form of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is available in the form of gas. That is that carbon dioxide is available from the atmosphere. Then here, third one is oxygen. Oxygen symbol is O, but it is available in the form of O2. It is also in the form of gases. Gas form. The fourth one is nitrogen. The greater amount of nitrogen is important for plant growth and development. The nitrogen atom means symbol, common symbol is N, but it is available in the 3 forms. That NO2 or NO3 and NH4 minus. NO2 represents as nitrites, NO3 represents as nitrate, then NH4 minus represents as ammonia. Means nitrogen is required very greater amount for the plant growth and development, but they are available in the 3 forms. That is NO2, NO3, NH4. NO2 is nothing but nitrite nomenclature. NO3 is nothing but nitrate. The NO4 is nothing but ammonium. The next macro element is phosphorus. That is the symbol is P, but it is available in 2 forms: H2PO4 minus, HPO4 minus. It is nothing but dihydrogen phosphate or hydrogen phosphate form of phosphorus is available. It is also available from soil. The sixth one is potassium. It is a common symbol is K. It is available K plus form, that is in potassium ions. Then the seventh one is calcium. Then calcium is KCa, but it is available Ka plus calcium ions. And also here magnesium, Mg symbol, common symbol, but Mg plus that is nothing but magnesium ions. The last one is sulfur, symbol is S, but is available in the form of SO4 minus, that is sulfite. Dear students, now we can have a small discussion about the microelements. That microelements, otherwise called as micronutrients, are trace elements. The microelements are required in the low amount. What is the meaning of low amount? The micronutrient which is required less than 10 millimoles per 1 kg of dry weight. That you remember that for every 1 kg of dry weight, not the wet weight. There are total 8 types of microelements are there. In order to understand that, here the concept is you can try to understand available form and their nomenclature. That you already know these are the words. And here the first one elements are 8 types are there. First one we can see element 1 is iron. That symbol is Fe or ferrous we can call as. It is available in the soil, from the soil, that is Fe++. That nomenclature we can call as ferrous ions, not in the form of gas. That ferrous is available in the soil, from the soil as a form of Fe++, we can call as ferrous. The second microelement is copper. That symbol is Cu, but the available form is Cu++, means cupric ions or copper ferrous ions or cupric ions. The third one is boron. That symbol is B, but available form is an BO3-3, means borate. That boron is also available from the soil, borate form. One more form of also available, that is an B4O7-2. It is called as a tetraborate, means boron, which is called as a microelement, available in the two forms. That is an borate, one more is an tetraborate. No other microelement is available more than one type. Only one form of micronutrients are available. But only the boron is available in the two forms. That is an BO3-3, B4O7-2. Borate as well as tetraborate. Now the fourth element is manganese. The symbol is Mn, but available from the soil is Mn++. That is an manganese ions. The fifth one is zinc. Symbol is Zn, but available form is zinc ions, Zn++. Zinc ions. The sixth one is molybdenum. Symbol is Mo, but available form is molybdate. MoO2-2, means molybdenum itself is not available. Molybdenum is available along with oxygen. That is molybdate. The seventh one is chlorine. Symbol is Cl, but available form is chlorine ions, Cl-. The eighth one is nickel. Ni is the symbol, but available form is Ni+2 or nickel ions. So we remember that molybdenum is available in the form of molybdate, one concept, and boron is available in the two forms, that is a borate as well as tetraborate. But the remaining all are available almost in the same form, but in the form of. Dear students, now we can try to understand the essential elements and the criteria. There are 17 essential elements are there. It's a part of macro elements as well as micro elements. Now, what is the reason the particular element to be treated as an essential? That is argon and stout. Given the definition in the year of 1939, to understand that element is essential or non-essential, the essential elements have the following criteria. The first criteria is the element must useful for growth and reproduction, and are both growth and reproduction. If the element is not available, the life cycle will not complete and no seed formation takes place. One is that the element must be useful for growth or reproduction or else for both. The second criteria is the element should have specific function, mean no other element no other element will be replaced. Instead of, example, there is a magnesium is present, it is useful for formation of chlorophyll. There is no other element have the capacity to replace that magnesium ions. The third one is the element should participate directly. If not, leads to deficiency diseases. Here the element must have the should useful for growth and reproduction or both. If not, the life cycle will be not completed and there is no formation of seeds. The first criteria. If element is have the specific function, no other element can replace this particular element function. Example, magnesium is always useful for formation of chlorophyll. Other elements do not replace the chlorophyll functions other than this magnesium. The last one is element should have the participating directly. If not, they leads to deficiency disorders. These three criteria was proposed by Arnon and Stout. These criteria should be followed. Element is essential or non-essential. Dear students, now we can see that few more functions of essential elements. In addition to that following the criteria, the specific functions of the essential elements are: the first one is it is useful for plasma membrane permeability, in the sense permeability of cell membrane. That you know that each cell is covered by plasma membrane. There is a cell of plant cell having the plasma membrane. That plasma membrane is covered by cell wall. But the plasma membrane accepts something to pass in, something to pass out. That permeability nature is depends upon essential elements. The second one is also responsible for osmotic concentration. Means the regulation of osmotic concentration of cell sap. Means in the cell sap, mean whatever the amount of, whatever the number of ions has to move out, whatever the number of ions has moved in is regulated by essential ions, essential elements. The third one is it is also regulates enzymatic activities, the activation of enzymes, and also responsible for construction or constitutes, means construction of the cell wall and then construction of this plasma membrane and formation of then proteins, amino acids and so on. It is also responsible for constituent activities, regulation of the enzymes, osmotic concentration, permeability of the cell membrane, and also responsible for formation of pollen tube and its germination. Means it is also responsible for the process of reproduction and growth and development. In addition to those criteria, few more essential works to be done by essential elements. Those are. Now, this is a nitrogen. It is one of the most important essential and macro elements. The nitrogen is available in the atmosphere in the form of N2. In the atmosphere, the greater amount of nitrogen is available, that is around 78.32%. In this nitrogen, how they are absorbed by plant and where they are available, and physiological role, means how the nitrogen is important for plant life cycle. Then form of absorption means nitrogen is taken by plants. Generally, nitrogen is available from the atmosphere, but even though nitrogen does not take directly by a plant body, the nitrogen taken from the root as well as from soil in the form of NO2 or in the form of NO3 minus or in the form of NH4 plus, means a groundnut plant or any legume plant need more amount of nitrogen they takes from the soil, that is in the form of nitrites NO2, nitrates NO3 minus, ammonium NH4. But nitrogen is available in the atmosphere but does not take directly by a plant body. Then availability, where they are available? They are available from the soil. Fine. In the soil, nitrogen is available, but in the soil, nitrogen formation takes place by the process of nitrogen fixation. The nitrogen fixation takes place by bacteria as well as cyanobacteria. That next hour we are going to discuss in detail about the nitrogen fixation in the legume plant species. Then physiological role. What is the importance of nitrogen in the plant body and their life? The first one is a required the great amount among all these macroelements, but nitrogen is required than more and more amount because of various functions to be done, depends upon the nitrogen availability. The second one is it is required for meristematic tissues as well as for metabolically active cells. When a cell that the plant have the root as well as shoot. In the shoot, the tip of the shoot has a meristematic zone. In the meristematic zone, there is a meristematic cell present. To be active the meristematic zone, the nitrogen is important. When the meristematic zone is active, only then mitotic cell division takes place. When the mitotic takes place, that stem growth and development is possible. The third one is nitrogen is associated with synthesis of proteins, synthesis of amino acids, synthesis of nucleic acids like DNA as well as RNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, ribonucleic acid, as well as enzymes as well as coenzymes. Where most of these various components have been synthesized with the help of nitrogen availability. The next one is the fourth point is growth and development. As discussed, meristematic cells, they require nitrogen. To be active also they require nitrogen. When they are active only, mitotic takes place. When the mitotic takes place, growth will be takes place. And also differentiation. After their growth and development, they undergoes to differentiation of stem, root, from the stem, dermic, cortex, then as well as vascular bundles, xylem and phloem. Various differentiation takes place. And also responsible for respiration and also responsible for photosynthesis. In the respiration, for synthesis of various enzymes, for photosynthesis also for synthesis of various enzymes, nitrogen is useful. So nitrogen is one of the important element. The element is required very greater amount. One concept is they are available in the three forms. One more concept is this is available in the process of symbiosis. That is nothing but nitrogen fixation. No other element have the capacity to synthesize by bacteria except this nitrogen. It is a one more logic, and they are useful for various activities. Dear students, now we can see some model questions were asked in the previous model questions. The previous question were asked like typical. Question number 1 is zinc, manganese, ferrous, copper are. Their concept is the given options: trace elements, non-essential elements, macronutrients, none of this one. That that is it first you can try to understand, is it a essential or non-essential. So here non-essential is given, but these elements are essential, so this option is wrong. Again there's a two more options are here: trace elements, macronutrients. We have to know that what is meaning of trace element. Trace element is nothing but micronutrients. The other name for micronutrient is trace, very less amount. That's why they call it as a trace element. The third, one more option is a macronutrient. Macronutrient is nothing but, other words we can call as a macroelements. They give the substitute names. So out of this one, these four elements, are they trace element or macroelements? So the four elements are trace elements, meaning is that micronutrients, microelements, not the macroelements. So that option here, these are 2, then there comes here 3. 3 is wrong, 4th is wrong, as well as second is wrong. The right option is 1. The second question we can see, which element is located at the center of this porphyrin ring of chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is a structural form like this. In this ring, which element is present? That is the concept is potassium or manganese or calcium or magnesium. At the center of this chlorophyll, there is a magnesium is present. There is no element is replaced the magnesium. Magnesium is responsible for formation of chlorophyll and chlorophyll rings. The third question is, which of these following is not a nitrogen fixing organism? Not a nitrogen fixing organism means here which is not belongs to the nitrogen fixation. There is a different microorganism names are given here. One is a BCG, then blue green algae, blue green algae. BGA, blue green algae. That second one is option is given as rhizobium. Rhizobium is one of the bacteria. The third one is given both 1 and 2. The fourth one is given aspergillus. But the given option is here not a nitrogen fixing organism. So these first two are nitrogen fixing organisms. So they are not a correct options. The right option is aspergillus. But suppose to not is not given here. The which of these following is nitrogen fixing organisms? Then the option is comes under third one. Both A and B. But here not is given. Hence the fourth option is correct.